Hey everyone, so I've decided to make this video just to document my progress and maybe help others depending on the results. But basically I wanted to try the celery juice challenge. I'm going to be trying it for at least 30 days, but I figured I would record my first video, this one, at the 7-day point. So first of all, I am not a doctor, so obviously nothing I say is advice, it is just my experience. It was a pretty big thing a few years back that everyone was trying this sort of celery juicing thing. From what I remember, the prices of celery went sky high, so I'm pretty late to the party to try this. There's absolutely loads of claims to drinking celery juice, loads of supposed benefits. I'm not sure if I believe a lot of them, but if you look on YouTube and people's videos on the comments, some people see it as like a miracle food or juice. I'm a bit health obsessed anyway, so I'm always happy to try something if it can benefit my health. But the reason I wanted to try this more than anything was because I have had acne since I was about 14 years old. Hopefully you can tell it's not on my face, it's mainly my shoulders and most of all my back. I've always had that. I've tried loads of different things, I've never managed to get rid of it. So I figured I would give this a go, because from what I'm seeing online and what people are saying, acne is probably one of the things that benefits the most, or skin conditions benefit the most. I do have really sensitive skin, I also have really dry skin, so who knows. Aside from that, I am quite often pretty tired through the day, I don't sleep well. I'm sure I could list a lot of things that most people have to some degree, so I'd be interested in seeing if this can help with those things, like people claim it can, but I won't get my hopes up too much for that. Also bloating, that's another thing that it supposedly helps with. I'm a big foodie, so I eat a lot. It's usually healthy food, but it does mean I get pretty bad bloating. So most of you will already know what the challenge or the process for this is. It's basically juicing celery. A full pack should give you about 16 ounces, and you drink that every morning, at least half an hour before your first meal. Don't add anything to it to flavour it, no lemon, no water, etc, etc. It's quite weird because I've seen some other people's videos and they get this really dark green liquid, and for me it's quite lighter in colour in comparison, so I don't know why that is, but just something to note. There's probably loads we can talk about, but I'll try and keep this video relatively short. Some people advise you use organic, that would be good, but I didn't have access to that, and apparently it doesn't matter too much. So I've just been going to my local supermarket. I live next to an Asda, and I've been buying like packs of celery for like, I don't know, less than 50p each, so it's pretty inexpensive. So I actually tried juicing celery like the week before I started this challenge, just for a few days, to see if I could actually stomach the taste, because I think that celery is nasty. There is not much that I can stomach, but celery is one of the things I do struggle with. I will say though, after juicing it a few days in a row, it becomes really easy. I don't know why, but for some reason the taste grew on me, and it's absolutely fine now. And to make it even easier, sometimes I juice it the night before. I leave it in the fridge, and then it really doesn't taste of that much in the morning anyway when it's cold. So before we get into whether I felt any of the benefits, let's talk about the side effects, the gross, disgusting, TMI stuff, toilet habits. So skip on if you don't want to hear this. So if you've already watched other videos on YouTube of people doing this challenge, you've probably already heard a lot of people comment on the toilet habits and what happens. For me, I'm still pretty regular, just once a day. I've heard a lot of people saying as soon as they drink this, they have to rush to the bathroom. It hasn't hit me as bad as that. That being said, without going into detail and describing it, for me, since juicing though, when I do go to the bathroom, it's a little bit like... So you can probably get the idea from that. Aside from that, I've been getting pretty bad in the first 5 days, quite bad sort of trapped air, trapped wind, needing to fart basically. To be honest, I get that to a degree anyway, but I have noticed it more than I was expecting whilst juicing, because people said it relieves bloating a lot. It hasn't been anything extreme, but it has felt trapped, I guess, as the name suggests. But then eventually, at some point through the day, you will feel like you can relieve that wind, although it feels a little bit like... So in short, I would not say it's helped me much with bloating yet. I seem to be worse in the first 5 days. I'm only on day 7 now. As mentioned, I'm going to carry on for longer, so I'll be able to update on that hopefully in the next video. But yeah, it hasn't really stopped me getting bloated. So aside from that, I wouldn't have actually expected to see any results in terms of my skin, or maybe a little bit in energy levels if that does work. I would say that my energy levels have been up a little bit. I felt pretty good actually, but it's quite difficult to track, and also it's just been the Christmas holidays, so I've been off work. When I'm at work, I feel pretty lousy, I'm pretty exhausted, so it's really difficult to track it. Again, I'll have to track that over the period of the 30 days to see if that's quite consistent. My skin, after 7 days, it's obviously not going to miraculously just heal, you know, almost 16 years of acne on my back. That being said, I haven't noticed many new spots coming up since starting this. It could just be coincidence, and I don't want to get my hopes up because, well, as mentioned, I've tried loads of things. Nothing has ever affected my acne, or at least not positively. So yeah, I'm trying not to get my hopes up, but honestly, my skin does seem to feel good. It could just be coincidence. I do get good and bad days, good and bad weeks. I guess what I'm trying to say is that 7 days probably isn't enough to see drastic improvements. That being said, I do feel good, and I'm positively optimistic, let's call it. I haven't noticed any benefits in terms of sleep though. In fact, I haven't slept very well over the last week, just coincidentally, I think. Some people claim they sleep better. Anything else I can think of off the top of my head, I haven't changed my diet at all since starting this. I know that it's meant to be more beneficial to cut out dairy and wheat. I had tried that like a couple of weeks before anyway. Again, it didn't really benefit me, or I didn't feel any different. So I'm trying to test this without changing anything else. If anything though, I would say because it has just been the Christmas period, I've probably eaten more junk over the last week, which sort of cut into me starting the celery juice challenge. And the fact that my skin is potentially getting better, or at least hasn't got worse after me eating all that junk, is hopefully a really good sign for me. I'm going to leave it at that, guys. Hopefully you found this useful. I know if you're anything like me, you've probably been looking at a couple of YouTube videos before starting it yourself. What I would say is give it a go. It's relatively inexpensive, especially if you can see some benefits to it. So I'll put a link in the description box below to my Instagram page, but you could just leave a comment below if you've got any questions. Of course, make sure you subscribe if you do want to see the update, turn notifications on. And yeah, thanks so much for watching.